There's a university at the tip of Africa that's right at the top of its game. It's a place with a proud history and legacy, pulled upwards by a future that will not be tamed.
It brims over with powerful ideas that again and again lead to potent action and real change. Since when? 6 decades long, it's been home to groundbreakers, change makers, planet shakers, and it's still going strong.
It's the home of forward-thinking higher learning, homegrown pride and a story still unfurling, independent thought which sparks innovation, mindful global citizenship.
Today, this is my home, my community, my springboard, my zone, like iron sharpening iron. Here, my potential is mined, my mind is refined, and my future redefined.
It's our time to learn from our past and our histories, to be the leaders of tomorrow's victories.
It's our time to stand up and step into our light.
To rise with Africa and all the world by our side. There's a university at the tip of Africa that's right at the top of its game. It's a place with a proud history and legacy, pulled upwards by a future that will not be tamed.
It brims over with powerful ideas that again and again lead to potent action and real change. Since when? 6 decades long, it's been home to groundbreakers, change makers, planet shakers, and it's still going strong.
It's the home of forward-thinking higher learning, homegrown pride and a story still unfurling, independent thought which sparks innovation, mindful global citizens and their perpetual liberation.
Today, this is my home, my community, my springboard, my zone, like iron sharpening iron. Here, my potential is mined, my mind is refined, and my future redefined.
It's our time to learn from our past and our histories, to be the leaders of tomorrow's victories.
It's our time to stand up and step into our light.
To rise with Africa and all the world by our side. There's a university at the tip of Africa that's right at the top of its game. It's a place with a proud history and legacy, pulled upwards by a future that will not be tamed.
It brims over with powerful ideas that again and again lead to potent action and real change. Since when? 6 decades long, it's been home to groundbreakers, change makers, planet shakers, and it's still going strong.
It's the home of forward-thinking higher learning, homegrown pride and a story still unfurling, independent thought which sparks innovation, mindful global citizens and their perpetual liberation.
Today, this is my home, my community, my springboard, my zone, like iron sharpening iron. Here, my potential is mined, my mind is refined, and my future redefined.
It's our time to learn from our past and our histories, to be the leaders of tomorrow's victories.
It's our time to stand up and step into our light.
To rise with Africa and all the world by our side. There's a university at the tip of Africa that's right at the top of its game. It's a place with a proud history and legacy, pulled upwards by a future that will not be tamed.
It brims over with powerful ideas that again and again lead to potent action and real change. Since when? 6 decades long, it's been home to groundbreakers, change makers, planet shakers, and it's still...
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please?
Are you also? Yes, I greeted. Why are you going behind the chairs?
Inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the academic procession.
Good afternoon. Just in case you forgot what I look like. This is my last session for the week. And I need your energy, and I'm not getting that energy. Good afternoon. That's much better. Now I feel I can do the ceremony. I declare this congregation of the University of the Western Cape duly constituted.
Please stand. Thank you. Join us in singing the national anthem, which will be led by Tyron Manuel.
Sikeleli Afrika malupaka isumpololwayo izwa endithandazo Yesu Nkosi sikelela thina lusapho lwayo Morena buluka sichabaza Yesu ufedise ditwale batswere o usibuluke sichabaza Yesu sichabaza South Africa die blauw van onze hemel, uit die diepte van ons zee. Voor ons eeuwige gebed. hartes, waar die kraanse antwoord gee. Sounds the call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land.
You may be seated. The university respects and recognizes all faiths, and in an effort to respect the major faiths observed by the university community, we have arranged for a spiritual leader from each of these to lead us in prayer on a rotational basis. This afternoon, we will be led in prayer by Dr. Miranda Pillay.
Come join me as we acknowledge the source of life, of love, of grace, of peace, of joy, from whom or where you and I draw our strength, courage, and hope. Kom ons bid saam. Masitandaze. We praise and thank you, dear God, for this gathering where we can acknowledge and celebrate the academic achievements of our dear ones graduating here today. Mag die graduandi omhels deur u genade en liefde die toekoms met moed, wysheid, volharding en vindingrykheid betree. Grant that their future journeys be marked with opportunities that will be enriching experience for them and others. Gracious One, we also bring before you the needs of fellow students who were not successful this time around, praying that they will have the courage and encouragement needed to continue their studies. It is also with sincere gratitude for the support, sacrifice, and encouragement of family, friends, and academic staff that we ask a blessing on the achievements of all graduates. May out of all this flow service, love, generosity, compassion, and empathy in a world of much need. Merciful God, grant that those who teach and those who learn be inspired by a vision for justice and peace and work towards the well-being of all creation. We pray our blessing on the proceedings here today en ons vra u beskerming en seën wanneer ons huiswaarts keer aan die einde van die verrigtinge. Nkosi mdali. Amen.
Our guests of honor this afternoon, the graduates, their parents and loved ones, the university executive and deans, UWC colleagues from the academic, administrative and support sectors, all other guests, good afternoon. Welcome to the March graduation ceremony of the University of the Western Cape, and in particular the 10th and last session of ceremonies for this week. I remarked on Monday during the first ceremony that this feels very, very special. It's actually our first graduation ceremony after 2 years of lockdown. I can say to you now, after 9 ceremonies, I can say to you that it is still a very wow feeling, a very special feeling. Because what a joyous moment it is. What an unbelievable feeling to once again stand in front of a graduating class. In the depths of our despair over the last 2 years, we have prayed and we have hoped to know this moment again, to be able to have this feeling and this experience again. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I believe today these graduates sitting in front of us should feel like they've just reached the top of a very steep mountain. Not only do they have 2 years of living with a pandemic behind them, but they are actually attending an in-person graduation, something that we never would have thought possible even as late as January of this year. I must tell you that there is an unknown student that you have to thank for this in-person graduation. We have not even started talking about the campus returning to normal. And in the beginning of this year, around January, I came to check on the vaccination center at the main hall, and one of our students saw me there and came running across. He completed his master's in December. And he spoke to me for more than an hour, begging and pleading that we must have an in-person graduation ceremony, something that we didn't think about. I spoke to the registrar, and here you see today the result of that. It's been a tough few years, and I certainly appreciate the many sacrifices that you, the graduates, and your loved ones had to make to ensure that you are here today. In this regard, I'd like to acknowledge your parents, your guardians, and your loved ones. Parents, guardians, I salute your dedication and your support to your charges. We all know that support, even during normal times, were invaluable to the students. How much more so, given the consequences of this pandemic and the impact of the pandemic on teaching and learning. Your support, your love carried them to this moment. They are graduating, but you are sharing in their achievements, which you have earned because of your love and your dedication and your support. We all know that in March 2020, this pandemic threw us all a huge curveball. We had just started the academic year in the first few weeks of March, and then we had to close shop and send everyone home to live and to learn and to work under extreme and severe lockdown conditions. Graduates, you made many adjustments to your academic routines. There were no in-person lectures. You had to rely on yourself far more than before to keep going. You had to work with even more discipline than you did during normal times. I also salute you for your endurance and your strength, because while you might have had the support of loved ones, the support of academic staff, you alone had to finish this journey. You alone had to have the self-discipline to make the right choices, and you are reaping the reward of those choices. After the past few years, we must look forward to the future with a deep sense of appreciation of what we have overcome and what lies behind us. I never get tired of saying this, but I'm also deeply proud of what this university did during the pandemic. How its staff, its lecturers, academics had to rapidly and quickly adapt to a new way of doing things. Universities are one of the oldest institutions in history, and for that very reason, trying to change things at university, ask me, trying to change anything at a university is an impossible task. And yet, our academics, our teaching staff they had no choice but to adapt rapidly and quickly. There were many staff that you as students had no contact with. Literally thousands of them who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure that this university is able to keep the academic program going under such extraordinary circumstances. I thank all of them. It is times like these, challenging times, hard times, that brings out the very best in people. And I would like to believe that it brought out the best in the University of the Western Cape. Graduates, it's been my practice and my custom to have a theme for every graduation. A theme that I hope would resonate with you, being students of the university, but also citizens of our country and citizens of the world. Given all the losses that we have suffered, both through COVID but also naturally, it seems to me very appropriate that we theme these graduation ceremonies in memoriam graduation. In memoriam comes from the Latin, and it literally means in memory of. Today, as we celebrate your success, and we must celebrate it with abandon and with joy, but as we do that, let us pause and silently remember our colleagues, our students, our family and friends, fellow South Africans, and world citizens that we have lost, either through the pandemic or through other causes. Today, amidst our celebrations, we grieve for them. God tells us not to grieve, because those that depart is returning to his fold. But today we grieve, and we ask God, as the poet Tennyson did, we ask him to forgive us our grief. It is grief that is justified. In speaking to God, Tennyson writes, "Forgive my grief for one removed. Thy creature whom I found so fair, I trust he lives in thee. I find him worthier to be loved. So today we start by remembering our dear former Chancellor, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, whom we lost in December last year. Today, graduates, I ask you as you sit there to think of those that you have personally lost and pause and remember them. Today, as an institution, we grieve as we remember 3 of our former students and 1 current student who passed away in a horrific crash close to Robertson in December 2022. They were the sisters Angelique and Shantae Kluter, Jessie Gordon, and Janice Peters. Shantae would have graduated with a Bachelor of Administration in yesterday's ceremony. We remember her mother stepped onto the stage to receive the degree of her daughter. Less than 3 months after losing 2 of her daughters, she bravely stepped onto the stage, and it was quite touching that our students rose as one to carry her across the stage and to strengthen her as she made her way across the stage with her face covered in tears. Today we remember. As I walked into this ceremony today, I felt the normal excitement that happens at graduations. I could see the smiles, I could feel the joy. And I felt a deep sense of sadness because there's another person who cannot be here with us today. Her name is Jessie Hess, and she would have graduated this year if her life had not been cruelly ended. Many of you will remember Jessie because in 2019 we all packed into the main hall to pay tribute to Jessie. Jessie was an 18-year-old first-year theology student at UWC. She and her grandfather, Mr. Chris Lategan, were violently killed in his home in August 2019. The 2 men who were arrested for this horrible crime is currently standing trial. So today, as we celebrate your success, I'm asking you to commit and to recommit yourself to fight against gender-based violence. Not only for Jessie's sake, but for all the other women in our country and elsewhere whose humanity is denigrated and stripped away through the actions of brutal men. Today I ask you to commit and to recommit, because gender-based violence is relentless and it is unjust. And today we all need to say it must stop. We can stop it if we all play our part. It starts with raising our children to believe and to accept that men and women are no different when it comes to expecting respect and dignity. It starts with not turning a blind eye or a deaf ear when you are witness to threatening behavior or when you hear threatening words. It starts with calling out those who believe they have the right to diminish women. And we must say to them, it is not allowed. It is not allowed by our law, and it is not allowed by morality. The past 2 years have taught us many lessons. It has shown us that we can be resilient in the face of adversity. It has shown us that we are able to overcome challenges that we've never experienced in our life. There is something else that we can learn from the past 2 years. And that is that you graduates and all of us, we can change the future. You have demonstrated that by sitting here today being part of the graduating class. Would you have thought that possible 2 years ago? No. And yet you've created the future where you are indeed graduating. And so you can also create a future where women are not only safe, but that they are afforded an equal place in our society and equality that our Constitution promises them. Be the change in creating the world you want to live in. A world you wish to see as safe, equal, and a world that will never allow another Jessie to be robbed of her life or to be senselessly hurt. I know you are capable of this because you carry with you the pride, the hope, and the determination of UWC. As you leave this place today, I ask you to remember this phrase. It's a phrase that I heard on the radio yesterday, and it resonated with me because it speaks to the message that I bring today. And the phrase says, men's silence condones women's violence. If we are as men are silent in the face of this violence, it means that we are condoning that violence. Graduates, go out and be the ambassadors that we know you will be. And remember, you carry the hope of UWC with you. Remember, we are proud of you and your achievements. It is now your turn to go out into the world and to make us as an institution proud. I thank you. An item in song will now be rendered by Tyrone Manuel.
Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation, darkness stirs and wakes imagination. Silently the senses abandon their defenses. Slowly, gently, night unfurls its splendor. Grasp it, sense it, tremulous and tender. Turn your face away from the garish light of day. Turn your thoughts away from cold and feeling light, and listen to the music of the night. Close your eyes and surrender to your darkest dreams. Purge all thoughts of the world you knew before. Close your eyes and your spirit start to soar. And you live as you've never lived before. Softly, deftly, music shall caress you. Hear it, feel it, secretly possess you. Open up your mind, let your fantasies unwind in this darkness which you know you cannot fight. The darkness of the music of the night. Let your mind start a journey through a strange new world. Leave all thoughts of the world you knew before. Let your soul take you where you long to be. Only then can you belong to me. Floating, falling, sweet intoxication. Touch me, trust me, savor each sensation. Let the dream begin. Let your darker side give in to the power of the music that I write. The power of the music of the night. You alone can make my song take flight. Help me make the music of the night.
Tyrone, I know you're not going to hang around, so let me thank you for all your appearances and for entertaining our graduates and their guests during the week. Thank you, and also to Ms. Henriette Weber from the Center Performing Arts. We always appreciate your support during these graduation ceremonies. Give them a round of applause. We'll start in a moment. We're just allowing some graduates to find their seats. Okay, we're coming to the business end of the day. By authority vested in me, I shall now admit the candidates who are presented to me and the candidates who were not able to attend the ceremony to degrees, diplomas, and certificates in the university.
Vice-Chancellor, the candidate Kenechukwu Ikubuaku will now be introduced to you by his supervisor, Professor Dimbabo.
The title of the thesis is Use Agricultural Entrepreneurship as a Vehicle for Employment Creation in Nigeria, a Capability Approach. The candidate conducted his doctoral research in his home country, Nigeria, where he critically examined the interplay between youth agricultural entrepreneurship and employment creation. Since capability approach was engaged as a theoretical framework while adopting a mixed methods of research design, using statistical models and qualitative inductive reasoning, the candidate critically assessed the opportunities, challenges, and the constraints of agricultural entrepreneurship. His thesis provides recommendations and alternative policy effectively tackling youth unemployment through the engagement of young Nigerians in agribusinesses. Examiners collectively agreed that the dissertation was produced with immense attention to detail and resulted in sophisticated work at the PhD level.
Vice-Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Kenechukwu Ikubuaku. Vice-Chancellor, the candidate Fru Awa Wanka will now be introduced to you by her supervisor, Professor May.
The title of Fru Wanke's thesis, co-supervised by Dr. Coretta Jonah and myself, was an analysis of maternal and child nutritional status in South Africa and its impact on maternal labor supply. Malnutrition impacts upon the quality of life in multiple ways, including on the participation of women in the labour market. Using data from the National Income Dynamics Study, Wanka's research is the first in South Africa to use a recursive bivariate probit model in estimating the relationship between maternal obesity and childhood stunting, as well as maternal labour force participation. The study found that caring for a stunted child is associated with a 20 to 30% reduction in maternal labour force participation. However, a robust association between maternal obesity and maternal labour force production was not observed. Wanka thus concludes that policies for decreasing stunting should be encouraged both to increase maternal labour force participation and the child's productivity later in life.
Vice-Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Fru Awa Wanka. Vice-Chancellor, the candidate Lutasha Ann Louisa Abrams Ndesi will now be introduced to you by her supervisor, Professor McGee.
PhD candidate Lutasha Ann Louise Abrams Ndesi's thesis title is An Assessment of the Academic Literacy Modules offered at the University of the Western Cape towards an embedded hybrid model of academic literacy. Her PhD study was about incoming students' academic development needs and induction to higher education in 4 of the university's 7 faculties' academic literacy modules. She assessed the 4 modules to ascertain if they were addressing the needs of first-year students in a holistic manner. She used a participatory evaluative research design to develop an embedded hybrid academic literacy model which faculties could use within their specific disciplinary fields. The contribution to new knowledge is twofold. First, the study foregrounded AD practitioners' pedagogical practices and experiences that have been ignored in other studies. Second, it revealed a different perspective of how to embed discipline-specific concepts in the study skills academic literacy model to provide epistemological access to students in a creative, decolonized, and all-inclusive curricula.
Vice-Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Lutasha Ann Louisa Abrams Ndesi. Vice-Chancellor, the candidate Zuko April will now be introduced to you by his supervisor, Professor Bayat.
The candidate, Zuko April, the thesis title is a model to manage and eliminate barriers to the Goa poultry deal between South Africa and the USA. AGOA benefits South Africa. However, the study found that the South African poultry sector did not benefit from AGOA because it was unable to use the duty-free access to export chicken to the US, as well as the excessive annual export quota demanded by the US and the state's lethargic implementation of AGOA, export constraints that included the lack of access to capital, technical expertise, skills, and supply-side constraints. AGOA thus has a negative impact on the sector, including the reduction of chicken production capacity, the closure of farms, job losses, and the loss of foreign exchange earnings through the unrealized poultry export. The study concludes that the government does not have the policy framework nor the institutional capacity in order for AGOA to benefit the poultry industry.
Vice-Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Zuko April. Vice-Chancellor, the candidate, Mohammed Jimilo, will now be introduced to you by his supervisor, Professor Shambare.
Mohammed Jamulo, his thesis is entitled Investigating Consumer Perceptions Towards Halal Certified Food Products in Cape Town. This study investigates halal certification from a consumer's perspective. Traditionally, halal certified food products are associated with the Islamic faith, but they are increasingly becoming popular among non-Muslim consumers. Over the past few decades, there have been many food scandals and incidents worldwide that have misled consumers and affected their attitude, trust, confidence towards the food and restaurant industries, particularly halal-labeled food products. In South Africa, perhaps the most memorable case recently was the halal meat and poultry industry scandal, the Orion scandal in 2011. Mohammed's thesis addressed the role of perceptions, attitudes, trust, and confidence towards the consumption of halal-certified food products in Cape Town. He developed and tested a robust conceptual model to predict consumers' perceptions towards halal-certified food products in Cape Town using the structural equation modeling techniques. The thesis has made a significant contribution to the body of knowledge, to the methodology, and to the various concerned industries. 4 publications emanated from this research, consisting of a book chapter and 3 internationally peer-reviewed international conference proceedings.
Vice-Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Mohammed Jimilo. Vice-Chancellor, the candidate Hemish Gavara will now be introduced to you by his supervisor, Professor Bayat.
The title of the thesis, The Association between socioeconomic factors, alcohol use, and alcohol attributable problems in South Africa. The thesis researched the relationship between alcohol consumption, socioeconomic characteristics, and alcohol-related health outcomes in South Africa. The study also sought to determine if the alcohol harm paradox exists in the country as a result of the harmful drinking culture fermented by the apartheid system. The study employed a multivariate logistic regression analysis on data from the National Income Dynamic Study. The research confirmed the existence of the alcohol harm paradox in South Africa across the variables under study. The current legislation and policy framework was determined as inadequate in addressing the impact of alcohol-related harms on society. The study recommends a strategy that comprehensively addresses the enduring consequences of alcohol use rooted in the apartheid era.
Vice-Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Hamish Gavara. Vice-Chancellor, the candidate Leon Poshai will now be introduced to you by his supervisor, Professor Williams.
The thesis of Leon Poshai is titled Urban Housing Policy in Zimbabwe and its Institutional Structures, reflecting on the housing challenges in Harare 1980 to 2020. This thesis is a contextual analysis of the urban housing policy making processes in post-independent Zimbabwe, buttressed by empirical research. It analyzes the characteristics of urban housing policy in Zimbabwe and how its formulation and implementation processes are influenced by institutional structures in urban councils. The study found that in Zimbabwe, urban housing has a politicized and inflexible institutional structure, making it thereby difficult to provide adequate housing. The thesis concludes that institutional weaknesses had been compounded by limited financial resources to implement housing programs, affecting thereby negatively the daily lived experiences of the majority of urbanites, as envisioned by severe shelter shortages, as evidenced by severe shelter shortages and socioeconomic deprivation. The thesis proposes that urban housing institutions should be delinked from political interference to improve housing provision in urban Zimbabwe.
Vice-Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Leon Poshai. Vice-Chancellor, the candidate Shanae Madeline Drew will now be introduced to you by her supervisor, Professor Du Plessis.
Within the South African higher education setting, Shanae Roux sought to analyze the influence of staff members' emotional management on positive and negative organizational behavior, with consideration of the indirect effect of collegial and leadership relationship quality on such relationships. The research hypotheses were tested through 2 structural models. Overall, one of the conclusions of the study is that emotional management is key in creating and fostering collegial and leadership relationships in the workplace, specifically as it relates to positive organizational outcomes, such as organizational citizenship behaviors. Finally, the results revealed that the hypothesized models were invariant across administrative and academic staff groups.
Vice-Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy on Shanae Madeline Roux. Vice-Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Commerce on the following candidates. Mamatolo Mkwanazi, summa cum laude. Zahira Mali, cum laude. Mkwe Nenimhe Sibachle, cum laude. Urifa Mukosi, cum laude. Lalita Nzamo, cum laude. Robin Poole, cum laude. Tammy Simmers, cum laude. Jade Taff, cum laude. Tiffany Fisser, cum laude. Abdurrahman Wakefield, cum laude. Ashton Weber, cum laude. Jody Vessels, cum laude. Trevor Marke. Langalihle Mabaleka. Lonwabo Matrakatsha. Magegwana, Magegwane, Magagula. Asisipo Magoko. Nomsa Magwaza. Tandol Wetu Majozi. Tumelo Mamashela. Abanati Manchi. Kevin Murray. Katleho Masekwa Meng. Muleki Masembula. Shinakao Masia. Maputi Masufi. Bandile Matebe. Nikita Matimba. Zukanye Matolengwe. Pumeza Matoti. Sibabalwe Machikiza. Amakle Makleke. Rubisa Mbadlisa. Yola Mbalane. Nompelo Mbilini. Oh, you put in your mouth. You give me your card. Dion Mazwawitsa. Jeantal McCreel. Nduna Koleka. Herschel Melody. Sawubona bobonke mfundisi. Bathandwa mcha. Apelele mkla kaza. Tandeka mshlontlo. Takia Mia. Sazembo Mkizi. Palesa Mkulisi. Sango Mlanjeni. No, man, I'm not. Yanga Nana. Asipe Ndane. Kanyisa Mnisi. Lizon Noto. Morongwa. Morongwa Mobelo. Tatohatsi Makotla. Buchle Mondliwa. Keaton Monk. Jaden Mulman. Grant Morgan. Darren Morkel. Nicole Morris. Chelsea Moses. Michlali Mpako. Nomtandazo Mtetwa. Sipho Mtimkhulu. Emmanuel Mudotsa. Raiz Mukaddam. Ashley Mukwesha. Kasonde Mutale. Yonelisa Mzanwa. Sianela Mziba. Zinziswa Mzwakali. Yakita Naidu. Ibrahim Nakadin. Munib Nana. Shayla Nantale. Mikhail Nash. Nesso. Jonte Nesso. Gabula Nayo. Nonkulunga Ndlovu. Chancel Makita. Siabonga Ndluvo. Nandan Kote. Sizipiwe Nodlela. Michlali Nochaya. Lupe Nokwali. Ito Ngakala. Kayiswan Tluzwana. Owetun Shikilana. Atenkosi Nsini. Sebaskle Ntuli. Sibosetu Qati. Zulfa Otto. Noreen Parker. Nosheen Patel. Josh Peters. Kenneth Peters. Muhammad Tawfiq Peters. Lavdi Peterson. Tamlin Patwers. Damien Phillips. Boitumelo Pochana. Veranzo Pipers. Swaita Plaiki. Liema Plaiki. William Plaikis. Ruwan Pochenpoel. Aviwe Ralane. Uhone Ramulongo. Shanae Robertson. Rogers. Naima Ronganger. Austin Roos. Robin Rousseau. Luyolo Sabata. Wasima Sain. Danielle Sali. Takib Sali. Simpiwe Saliso. Caleb Sam. Resida Samson. Akhlaq Sanglay. Liam Skippers. Keenan Sharif. Sheila Sebanyone. Keketso Sebonyane. Patrick Satiria. Tuli Shay. Klumelo Shosha. Lunati Sidumo. Nolupo Silwana. Sipumelele Sinuka. Hyacinth Sivas. Esther Sobe. Margot Soetwater. Unati Solomon. Jonathan Anzuluni. Nadia Sutton. Tyra Swartz. Jade Thibus. Keenan Taran. Lindiwe Tetiwe. Muhammad Amir Thompson. Layla Tofa. Mujahid Tofa. Wasima Toya. Abungile Changa. Agape Chigomana. Bandile Choki. Zamokukhle Tuswa. Halima Undre. Meloni van der Merwe. Ethan van Nelson. Giovanni Vergatine. Emihle Vichima. Yusuf Wadi. Suleiman Vahi. Zanade Wana. Ethan Whitaker. Bernadine Wickham. Selendukukhle Willem. Liam Willenberg. Andrea Williams. Ibrahim Williams. Takira Williams. Azalia Witboy. Leighton Witboy. Michle Kayimpi. Sinatemba Yalolo. Samkelo Zenani. Namkhla Zikali. Rosetta Zola. Temba Zulu. Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer Vice Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Commerce in Law on the following candidates. Kamogelo Malunga. Linamandla Miti. Liko Mpendulu. Michelle Mutunga Wafa. Lungako Ndungane. Mponsheng Nkadimeng. Kutalang Nkakhle. Lazola Nomkala. Ashley Pella. Jonathan Peterson. Sivuko Shibamba. Jason Thomas. Tuto Sinyane. Vice-Chancellor, I request you to award the postgraduate diploma in e-skills development on the following candidates. Wasila Davids. Matthew Kalaman. Edward Kimani. Mfundo Maneli. Sesona Mapila. Vice-Chancellor, I request you to award the postgraduate diploma in business administration on the following candidates. Kyle Alexander. Mahir Banderka. Lorna Bazi. Desiree Benson. Kim Botma. Afuile Kakwebe. Anwar de Klerk. Mariam January. Anita Jonas. Sihle Jonas. Chanel Langenhoven. Abdul Losper. Sandisiwe Madala. Tembisa Malhas. Tandokazi Mamba. Tabisa Vanjiola Yolo. Gershwin Martinez. Sipiu Mbande. Nontobeko Lilo. Mariam Mobara. Asanda Sangani. Shane Phillips. Wezo Pelingane. Yazid Sukkar. Yandisa Solo. Zakaria Sunday. Patiswa Swarpoy. Jonathan Tienis. Kabelo Tsatsimpe. Xanthia van Rensburg. Colleen van Wyk. Leonardo van Wyk. Andre Williams. Yolanda Yake. Lauren Adams. Michaela Brink. Marionette de Klerk. Andiswa Fobo. Buntu Fukazi. Nadia Valentine. Roxanne Francis. Hello. Elizabeth Hector. Johannes Jafter. Christeline Klaaser. Vice-Chancellor, I request you to award the Advanced Diploma Public Administration on the following candidates. Angelique Lowe. Rulani Malaleka. Rihanna Matthews. Andile Mbali. Mpakamisi Mbali. Sandiso Mgoqi. Tembela Ntunca. Jacob Modumumeng. Tamsin Peterson. Mauricia Prince. Vuyeka Salmon. Kaulatle Sedupane. Odwa Sotiato. Yoliswa Yako. Vice Chancellor, I request you to award the Advanced Diploma in Management, Finance on the following candidates. Vice Chancellor, I request you to award the Advanced Diploma in Management on the following candidates. Elaine Africa. Judy Atkins. Adwa Ainofu. Leandre Bailey. Shafika Buranuddin. Andre Boyson. Henry Boyson. Dion Brookstein. Vuyani Bue. Chure. Jure Caesar. Chantal Kester. Joanna Claassen Albertus. Natalie Cookson. Brandon Davids. Ntombowazi Dimbaza. Tabisa Duba. Niven Gangen. Tazna Honey. Monique Hendricks. Hello. Nicole Hermans. Letitia Yankees. Alistair Josephs. Hello. Deborah Klein. Bobikazi Koshli. Anela Kondlo. Susan Kuze. Michelle Lamond. Bontle Lebona. Vanessa Leo. Nokuzola Lusani. Luyanda. Luyandan Klondwana. Mogafe Makwala. Angelo Murray. Naledi Mate. Nomusa Mbele. Soliswa Mbusi. Perpetua Mankis. Granville Mentor. Dion Miller. Fuyukazi Mninzi. Lerato Monseng. Lloyd Morta. Thalma Mchula. Kamwania Mtombo. Welile Miende. Saeem Najjar, who will be invested by his mom, Sadika Najjar. Malachi Ndloko. Babalwa Panyaza. Ashlyn Paulson. Gazler Polsa. Linda Paulson. Lonwabo Pepese. Alvin Peters. Mzivuyo Ringana. Nuran Raitis. Jean-Pierre Schumer. Duke Simmons. Louisa Smith. Ronald Steenberg. Zoleka Sulo. Harriet Swartz. Theodore Swartz. Anna Thiessen. Anthea Thompson. Janine Joseph. Jorik van Rienen. Hello. Daryl Fasagi. Kurt Warner. Leandra White. Sihle Zihuele.
Phew. 10 sessions, 2 a day. I might even not work tonight and spoil myself with a movie. I hope this moment where your name was called out, you crossed the stage to the acknowledgement of your peers and your family. You gave me some arm and back exercises in having to cap you, and then you got invested by the registrar. I hope that that moment meant something to you and that it was all that you imagined it would be. I normally say to all other graduating classes, you can have that experience over and over again. You just have to study further. I say that to all the classes, but yesterday I said it to economic and management science students. Economic, and you are also economic and management science students. And someone shouted, "Thanks, but no thanks." And others did this to me. I think they mean, no, we're getting out there to make money. It is our custom, graduates, that after you've been celebrated, that you pay your respects to your parents and your family and your loved ones, and you acknowledge their support over the years in your hard journey. So I want you to take your graduation certificate. I want you to rise and face the audience at the back and wave your certificates at them in acknowledgement. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As this is our last ceremony, there are a number of people that I would like to acknowledge. I previously called them behind the scenes people. First of all, the deans have done a sterling job this week, and I'd like to thank them. I must say that when this idea of not using the main hall and using a marquee, when it was proposed to me, I was very dubious. I didn't think it would work. But I think the fact that we've had 10 successful ceremonies says that it was a good idea. I'm going to go through a few people, and at the end of that, I would like you to join me in giving them a thunderous applause. You know, this planning, we awarded over 4,000 degrees in these 10 ceremonies. All we had to do, you and me, all we had to do was to show up on the day of our ceremony. It was not that all this magically materialized. It was months and months of planning ahead. The planning team led by the Registrar's Office, which included from events management, I hope they are here, Amanda Philander and Melody Williams and their team. It included risk and compliance, Mr. Jefta, and your team. It included Nashira Davids and communications and media. And then in the setting up, we had our assets team, all the chairs that you're sitting on and the chairs at the back. We had Cyril Klein and our assets team. The technical engineering team, Nazim Abdullah and his team. On the day, I must tell you, you walk into a clean marquee during every ceremony. You know we are on a field, and so all that grass, we walk it into the marquee, it blows in, and yet every morning, very early in the morning, we have our cleaning team. There they are. Oh, beautiful people. They didn't have to, but they sat through all the 10 ceremonies that we had. And when we leave, you are still here, but as you start leaving, they move in to clean up. Wonderful. And then I've already thanked Tyrone and the Center for the Performing Arts. I want to thank the UWC ambassadors and ushers. You see them with the yellow vests. Thank you very much for your help. The Pro Events team, the traffic management staff, everything went smoothly, and I think you can agree with me. We have a new photography team, Gordon Harris and his team. I am sure that you guys are assured of a quality memento of your very, very special day. And thank you to the photographers. And then to the two teleprompter ladies, Roshana, please convey my thanks to Leila. You made it appear as if I'm a good speaker. Thank you very much for your role. And then the oil that kept this engine going, the Deputy Registrar's Office, Dr. Sheikji, and the Graduation Office, Lynn Puna and her team, are they here? I think all of them worked. There's the graduation team. All of them worked tirelessly over weekends to help us achieve a successful graduation. I left the final one for last, audio visual. No problem with our sound. everyone could hear us. On Sunday night, in fact, Monday morning at 3 o'clock, this big screen that you see here in front, 3 o'clock Monday morning, Gino Alfreds and his team were still sending me messages to say how they are struggling to get this working. All we have to do is to arrive, the food is set, we simply dish and eat. And to all those chefs that I've mentioned, thank you very much. I'm just making sure I didn't forget anyone. It doesn't look like it. Me? No, no, no. I didn't do anything, I just arrived. Thank you very much. This has been a very memorable occasion for me as well. During these graduation ceremonies, I find ways and means of keeping myself focused on the task, because your mind can start wandering. So today my role was photographer's assistant, and I helped ensure that people looked directly into that camera. Yeah. I normally share my favorite graduation moment of the week. And so here goes, there's lots of them, but here goes. So there was this one student who was very cheerful. And then when he stood in front of the registrar, when she was about to invest him, he burst into tears. And then he turned around away from the audience. So I'm now facing away from the audience. And the registrar whispered a few words in his ear, probably, compose yourself. And then he jumped around. You remember that one, registrar? He jumped around. And then he turned around again and continued crying. On that note, this congregation of the University of the Western Cape is now dissolved.
They wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wishing on me. Yeah. I've been